All right. Well, welcome to Atlanta, everybody. How are you? Sorry, I'm trying to find a spot in the shade a little bit so I can actually see what I'm doing. Here we go. This works. And we got people on already. So, welcome to Atlanta. More importantly, welcome to the Sweet Auburn neighborhood. And this is a very historical neighborhood in Atlanta. This is where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born and did a lot of his work. Now, I found out yesterday. My plan was this morning I was going to go and try and jump in on a tour of his birthplace just so I could tell you about it because I'm sure they don't allow cameras inside. However, it's under renovations till next November, not like next month, next November, 2025. So I'm going to have to come back in a year and that'll be a whole new adventure, literally. Um, but today I'm going to show you around. So I'm not going to get into tons of history as I do on all my tours. I've done a bunch of research, and the stuff that sticks in my brain, I'm gonna tell you about today. There is 2 blocks of a historic district here. So there is a lot of ground literally to cover. Just to give you an idea, there's the birthplace house, which I'll show you in a second. The neighborhood, there is a fire station nearby. There is the World Peace Gardens, Ebenezer Church, which will also be a walk past the memorial where Dr. King is buried with his wife, Coretta Scott King. And we'll check out the neighborhood along the way. It's super cute. So we're going to get going. I'm going to go across the street in just a moment. And I just need to be able to see what I'm doing to flip the camera around because we do not want to stare at me the whole time. I know this. So give me a second here. I will get this figured out. It is very bright here. It's hard to see my screen. Camera, here we go. And no, sorry, give me a moment. I think I just hit the wrong thing. Sorry, I am still getting used to this. And my screen is being really annoying right now. And I'm running on a little bit of lack of sleep. Sorry, I need to try and get deeper into the shade here so I can actually see what I'm doing. I have to hit everything like 5 times to get it to work on my screen. So please forgive me. I will get there. I don't understand. Okay, sorry, it keeps going into audio, and that is not what I want it to do. Here we go, camera. Oh my goodness, it should not be this difficult. Again, I apologize. We'll get back to this tour in just a moment. There we go. That is where I wanted to be all along. So let's head out. There we go. Oh. And again, I will apologize for the 9 millionth time. So this is Auburn Street. This is where everything is. And I'm going to do a little walking across the street here. I should probably do it on a crosswalk. It is warm in Atlanta today. And I knew it was going to be warm, but I have very limited space in my suitcase. So I'm dressed a bit warmer than I should be. Here, because of where we are today. This is all just so very cool. All right, here we go. I'm going to see if I can make my screen a little brighter at the moment. There we go. Here we are. That is much better. I could just go back to this. There we are. All right. So here we are. Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park and Preservation District. So this is a whole big national park. I think it's amazing. I first came here last June and had a little chance to walk around. If I had known then that it would have been closed when I came back the next time, I would have tried to get into a tour then. So here we are. This is the actual birth home of Martin Luther King. It's a two-story home. It was originally built, I believe, in 1899. There is the walkway to the door. And interestingly enough, learning a lot, of course, the home was built for a white family. Who knew? And they lived there for quite some time, I think until the story goes about 1910 or 1909. And then the pastor from Ebenezer Baptist Church down the way here bought it. They have a little store on the property here, which is cool. Right next door. So this white family, this pastor bought it from Ebenezer Baptist and moved in with his wife and his little girl. And the girl, of course, grew up and eventually she married Dr. Martin Luther King's father. Look at all these little houses. Aren't they just so cute? Can you imagine stepping back in time and what this neighborhood was probably like? I bet there was all kinds of kids just running around, playing on the street as we used to do. I bet they all sat on their front porch when it was super hot in the summer and drank sweet tea. You can see a little bit the downtown skyline here of Atlanta, way back in the distance there. And so when they, instead of his wife moving in with him, he actually moved in with his wife's family and had 4 kids, one of them being Martin Luther King, of course. Okay. And how you doing, lady? Hey. Since you got your video going, I got a poem on Dr. King. Would you like to hear today? I'd love to share it with you. I'm sorry I can't at the moment, but thank you for offering. I forgot to get cash ready to tip people. Sorry. All right. We are going to go and wait just right here at the stop sign. So anyways, they ended up taking over the family home, and way much later, so maybe we'll go this way for now while we have a walk signal. His father had a heart attack and they moved out of the home, but they kept it as a rental property. And they moved to somewhere else, I believe in this neighborhood, although I'm still researching that. I'll just give you a little taste of the neighborhood here. And there we go. We can see downtown Atlanta. Very cool. And then, of course, at the age of 19, this fire hall is just down the way here. So I thought I'd pop by here first. At the age of 19, Dr. Martin Luther King gave his first trial sermon at Ebenezer Baptist, which we'll walk through in a little bit. And after that became an ordained minister. He's also one of the youngest people to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize Award. He is connected to former President Jimmy Carter. There is a whole dream gallery that the Jimmy Carter Library and King Foundation support together. I think this is, sorry, I'm doing this on memory. My memory may be wrong. If not, we get a little bit of an extra walk, and that's okay. So Dr. King did all of this, instigated all of this civil rights movements. I think there ended up being somewhere around 20 different leagues and things at one point, and all under, nope, I've come the wrong way, I think, unless this is it down here. Sorry. Like I said, I'm relying on memory, and I thought my memory was good, but it might not be. I'm betting there's going to be lots of kids around down here as well. When I came last time, there were some school tours. Nope. I think what I thought was that was just another time. So maybe we're not going to get to go past it today. I'm sorry. But here is another building from the area. I'm going to head back and head down to the memorial and all of those cool spots. There's going to be a little bit of quiet reflection time as well today. So there's a restaurant here in Atlanta called Pascal's. And I'm here for 2 nights because I roll out tomorrow night at midnight to head to New Orleans. And one night I'm going to go to Mary Mac's Tea Room, and I'm probably going to do a little impromptu live from there. And then one night I'm going to go to Pascal's. And I just haven't figured out yet what I'm feeling and when. And I'm trying to kind of plan out my day tomorrow. There is so much history in this little spot. And down along Auburn Avenue, there is a museum called the Apex. And it is an African American history museum to do with this neighborhood, a little bit to do with civil rights. There is also the King Center here. I looked up a little coffee shop that was advertised somewhere in where I was looking for information. And I thought it was like a historical spot with a cool little coffee shop called Sweet Auburn Bakery, because of course Auburn is the neighborhood we're in. But as it turns out, it is not. It is just a regular spot, although here's the back of these houses. So cute. It is in a market area, but it didn't seem nearly as cute. So I just hung out, or as cute, I should say, as I thought it was going to be. So I just hung out at my Airbnb and had free coffee and a free breakfast sandwich, although it wasn't that fabulous, but that's okay. And here's the hall. Oh, this is how I roll. This is the second time the last two tours. So this is station number 6 right here. It's okay. We got to see some extra history of the neighborhood or extra spots. This is a fire hall in the neighborhood. Again, National Park Services. This is all part of the national park. And this is the fire hall number 6, where it all started to go after civil rights and job rights and things like that, as far as, I guess, desegregation in the fire halls in Atlanta. So here we are. We're going to try and not get run over and cross the street. We'll get a better look at the fire hall from here. You know, it's a good thing I can laugh at myself. Hi. Now, when we come up to the memorial part, there's going to be stuff on the loudspeaker. And I'm going to probably give a little bit of a chance for you to hear it, just because it's kind of cool. And basically my whole hope for you today, up that way, is Edgewood Avenue, and it's kind of like the Robson Street if you're from Vancouver, or the Gastown-ish, maybe Granville Street of the Sweet Auburn neighborhood. I just love the name Sweet Auburn. I'd love to have an Airbnb here one day and be like, call it the Sweet Auburn Legacy Housing and Rehabilitation Center. Very nice. All right, so here we are. Down here, this is where the memorial is, where Dr. King is buried. And of course, this is all about civil rights and giving people the freedom to prosper in life, to have jobs, to sit on buses in regular spots, and just be part of society. The I have a dream. And it is certainly my pleasure and honor to be able to walk you through here today. Look at how beautiful this spot is. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute while we walk along here. And hopefully you can hear everything. To issues of justice, peace, and freedom. Completely, that we could get text. That body of people pertain to 750 organizations and have like a million people. Within a few weeks, now, of course, Mahalia Jackson, the singer, was a big part of Martin Luther King's campaign and traveled with him. Watched a little bit of her story. And the water looks so blue with the color of the tiles. And here we are at the burial site. He was laid to rest. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., 1929 to 1968. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. And Coretta Scott King, 1927 to 2006. And now abide faith, hope, love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13:13. And we'll just do a little moment. We're going to carry on over to the eternal flame here. And it says here, the dream lives, the legacy continues. See if we can get a good picture postcard view here. Now, if you were to come here, you can actually go in and stand there as though you were making a speech. I did that when I was in DC, and to be the president of the United States. Wouldn't that be fun? All right, it is warm here, so I'm going to fix this here for a second while I put my hair up because that will help cool me down. There we go. Give me a moment here while I put my hair up. It's rather poetic in a way, as I call it. I called a Uber to come and get me, to take me up here from my Airbnb because one, time escaped me a little bit, and two, I didn't want to be flustered when I got here. Although I'm not sure that that worked. I've just had a very busy, chaotic couple of days, and so I got up here, and it's warm. So, anyways, my Uber driver today was a very lovely African American woman, and I just thought, what better way to provide to do this tour that I've been looking forward to for a year and a half, than to have an African American driver for me today. As kind of like, it kind of just made me know that I was doing the right thing. Because sometimes, you do things and you're just not sure how to expand, but I believe that if you feel something about something, you believe in it, you should stand up for it. So here we are today, my friends. Thank you for joining me, as always. And we're going to carry on. We're going to go past Ebenezer Church. Now, I'm so excited. When I go back to Vancouver, I'm coming back through Atlanta, flying out of Atlanta, all the way back. And I was going to come home on the Saturday, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to give myself one more day in Mobile, and then I'm going to come home from Atlanta, and I'm going to come home on a Sunday, and I'm going to go to Ebenezer Baptist Church on Sunday morning, and that'll be the last thing I do on my vacation. There we go. Freedom Walkway. We're going to go down the little ramp here. We got a couple of more things to show you on this tour. Or at least some of it walk by. One I'm hoping to go in. I did email them, but nobody got back to me. Surprise, surprise. It's very hard to get a hold of places when you want to do cool things as a tour guide. And again, this is just looking up Auburn Avenue back towards where the birth home Dr. King is. And this is Ebenezer Baptist Church. This is where he was first ordained and co-pastored with his father until the time of his death. Of course, he was assassinated. And he was just young. Just young. I think I might go check out the gift shop after while I'm here. Although I actually got some cool, I think I got some cool Dr. King stuff when I was in the big museum in Memphis. And that was amazing. Rebecca and I went there to the Lorraine Motel and on our road trip. And that was just really, really fascinating. They told us we needed 4 hours to be able to, there's a trolley streetcar. I don't know if it's a hop on, hop off though. And then there's their big streetcar system. I rode that last year. And so anyways, we went the Lorraine Motel, which is where he was assassinated, is right in Memphis. It's a huge site. There's like 3 different buildings. And they said it would take 4 hours. They lied. It took way longer than that. So we had to kind of just rush through the last bit because we had to get on the road. But Lorraine Motel is set up exactly as it was when the day it all happened, from the balcony of the Lorraine Motel. So I'll show you Ebenezer Baptist here from across the street. Now, when I was in Washington, D.C., I went to I can't remember exactly what it's called, but the Smithsonian for American History. And that was quite an adventure, too. I got to sit on a bus like Rosa Parks sat on when she refused to give up her seat. One of the many protests they did, going for desegregation and equal rights. And you got to sit in the I don't know that it was the actual seat, but it was in a bus just like what she sat on, and in the same spot she sat. And I had somebody contact me on Facebook about New Orleans, and they're heading there next week or on front, maybe even today. This is the new Ebenezer Baptist Church. This is where I'm coming on Sunday. And I just saw a sign that said large bags are not allowed. So I'm going to have to remember that, book some storage for my luggage. There goes another trolley bus. I'm just going to sit for a little minute here. Had a bit of an asthma attack this morning, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful with myself. Now, if anybody does have any comments, I believe you can add them here. I've been checking comments. I don't see any yet, but if you want to kind of leave me a comment or ask me a question, I can't promise I can answer, but I can do my best. So anyways, this lady is off to New Orleans with her daughters, and one of her daughters is really interested in all the history of civil rights. And she was saying that she understands that while the school is no longer in action, the building where Ruby Sparks, who was the first African-American child to go to a white school in New Orleans, she is wanting to see this site, and so they're going to go do that. And I'm like, I forgot about that. I need to look that up too. So here we go. I'm going to stand up again. We're going to carry on. I just had a little moment in the shade. Thank you for indulging me. Now we're coming up to the World Peace Garden, and this is geared towards kids and kind of a bit of a youth movement. And if you look at it from above, it is shaped like a starburst, kind of to symbolize all of Dr. King's work. Now, here's the cool thing. Periodically, they do a big poetry contest for kids in school, globally, locally, internationally. And they collect poetry for the Rose Garden here. So I'll try and read them all for you. So this one says, when the world becomes gray, I will be your last hope. When life makes you numb, listen to the voice of your heart. As people are born warm and hopeful, even in extreme situations, we humans are unstoppable. I'm going to try and say the names, but I apologize. I'm going to get them wrong. Looks like it might be Jiaqi Zhang, grade 11, from Jinan City, Shandong province of China. This next one is called Amen. Mouths were shut, but words echoed. Eyes were closed, but vision continued. Gone are the days when hatred prevailed. Now the sigh of hope is exhaled. Dr. King enlightened the flame. We pray amen in his name. And that's from Regita Rai, class X, in Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India. A letter for the warrior spirit of Martin Luther King. Your life visit was short, but you left humanity a great treasure. Love, kindness, and justice. You lived positively, defeating darkness with light, believing in the freedom and equality of all humans, and died a hero, paving a better tomorrow. From Nadia in the state of Palestine, Gaza, Palestine. Mother Earth, I have a dream that we will help Mother Earth. We will fight to protect the water, that this sickness won't hurt anyone, that my family will have good health and wisdom, that one year the Buffalo Nation will go back to the Black Hills. I have a dream that we will become healthy. Wichapi Giajo, South Dakota, USA. The message about forgiveness. When you forgive, you learn how to love, care for others, respect one another, teach one another, learn from your mistakes, be helpful, be supportive. When you forgive someone, you are also being forgiven. Ooh. Jayla Tisdale, Stockton, California. That's right. I can't find peace. Peace, where have you gone? I can't find you in my mind. You're not there when it's time. Come back, peace, we need you. If you leave us forever, we will never come back together. Nazira Muhammad, Heritage College Park, Georgia, USA. Here's some more beautiful flowers. Let's go right in here. There we go. There's some postcard shots. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. did not fight with his hands, he fought with his words so that everyone would be equal. He led people in prayer and song because of his special talent for leadership. He helped change laws. Adedoyin Adeleke, Jonesboro, Georgia. The next one is I Hand You Peace. Let's find a beautiful little. Oh, we'll capture these ones in behind here. I hand you peace, for peace is what you must seek. Don't let the words of others affect you in any way. Neither should you react in anger. If others are having trouble, you must also hand them peace. From Jacob in Decatur, Georgia. World Peace Rose Garden, a place of peace, a place of remembrance, a place to cease all of the encumbrance. In our community, you take an opportunity to meet in unity and escape the inhumanity of humanity. Arthur Asher Solomon, grade 8, from Atlanta, Georgia. Light from dark. Racism is a beast with claws, sharp teeth, strong jaws, unfair treatment for rich man's profit. Police dogs bite and bark. You can stop it. With a compassionate heart, you can make light from dark. Everyone, peace is love, peace is harmony, peace is kindness and nonviolence. We all have peace. We are kind of peace. So come on, you will see. We shine in the light because we are loving and kind. We shall be nice and do what is right. Aw, Kate in grade 2 from Lithonia, Georgia. World peace begins with me. We believe there is a spark within each of us that unites us all together. As brothers and sisters of the world, if we harm one another through thoughts, words, or actions, then we are directly or indirectly harming ourselves. Let us become peacemakers by living our theme. World peace begins with me. Very cool. If peace is the mantra of love we seek, then humility and kindness is the tone to keep. Let's get a shot with the church in the background. Each face you see is in the image of you, and your peace lies within that truth. It's called Maybe. March with me, dream with me, stand with me, lead with me, light fire with me, speak with me, rally with me, pray for me, and aspire to the change you want to see in me. A grade 5 from Georgia. This one is sprinkle peace, it's good for you. Sprinkle kindness, it's good for you. Sprinkle love, it's good for you. All of the above. Sprinkle peace and love. From a little grade 1. Thank you, Dr. King, for marching to help segregation end. Through your courage, you helped the country mend. If not for you, I wouldn't have met my best friend. Jacob McQuaid, grade 2 from Atlanta. Message from Coretta Scott King. Here's some more beautiful flowers. This garden symbolizes a beautiful spirit of the nonviolent path advocated by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is the way of truth, beauty, and universal love. 1992 World Peace Rose Garden dedication. His actual name was Michael, but they changed his name to Martin after I can't remember who, but they met somebody who was named Martin and they changed his name. I have a dream. World Peace Rose Garden, maintained with the assistance of the GFWC Atlanta Women's Club, living the volunteer spirit since 1895. That's the big name. Martin and Coretta. What a force you were together. No one could have fought better. Martin was a mighty king when he was stricken. Coretta's soul quickens. Taking the mantle only she could handle, she rose as a mighty queen. Pretty good from a grade 4, or from anybody, really. Peace, no hate, no violence, no shame, just love and peace. Love yourself, don't hate yourself. Only peace. Allow peace to follow, and so it will have peace in mind, and there it will be. And so it will be, have peace in mind, and there it will be, keep peace, withhold it, protect it, peace. Together, Dr. King had a dream that we would work as a team. He shared his dream, his words shone, his wise words shone. Join hands, we cannot walk alone. Let freedom ring as we remember Dr. King, their grade 5. The day we rise, we will be free for life. When we rise, we will rise peacefully. When the time is right, we will fight for what is right. We will rise and be free from another grade 2. All right. Just going to cruise. There's so many of these. I don't have time to read them all. But here's a good one. The similarities of peace. Peace is like a bird when looked for, found quickly, but when ignored, stays hidden amongst the shadows. When frightened, flies away, but when accepted, brings great joy to the people that behold it. Well, I feel like we have a group coming in. Beautiful little spot here. And this is the visitor center. I'm going to try, there's a cool thing in here that I want to show you. So I'm going to try and see if I can come in quickly and do a little walkabout, show you what it's like, and hopefully maybe even inspire you to come and see it for yourself. It smells like bleach in Atlanta. Hi, I'm a virtual tour guide. Is it possible to just do a quick walk around in here? Okay, thank you very much. Now, you can actually go on YouTube, or if you even just Google like birth home of Martin Luther King, they'll come up with, they did a YouTube video of the birth home of Martin Luther King. And right before they started to reno it. And I didn't have any sound on my, goodness knows, my Chromebook, and I didn't have time to fight with it, but I took a quick look at it. And if it's, I think you might find it quite interesting. So we're going to do a quick little walk through here. So I can kind of, like I said, show you everything, the whole thing here. I can't see it. The lighting does not work with my camera. But Martin Luther King was often put in prison, jailed for everything he did, and standing for what he believed in. And this is an excerpt from a letter from Birmingham that he wrote from the Birmingham City Jail. Yeah, I still can't see it from here. This is the Dream Gallery. It costs $1,885,000 to renovate Ebenezer Baptist Church in phase one. And they basically did structure and everything. And then in phase two, they did the auditorium. I don't know how much it cost. And can you imagine that little building? Like, that's crazy. And of course, Mary Mac's tea room is actually in the ward.
So you mentioned my grandfather, Daddy King, as we all know, excellently.
Yes, Martin Luther King's father was known as Daddy King.
And so just, I was a kid.
Go. President Jimmy Carter,
It's still me.
Georgia's global peacemakers, the Carter and King legacy. Now, I love the movie. I just forgot the name of it. Jennifer Garner's in it. There's one kind of about based on a true story. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. Freedom Writers, not writers, Freedom Writers. And they use an excerpt of music that has the I Have a Dream done with like a hip hop background. It's one of my favorite parts of that movie, I'm not gonna lie. They have an exhibit here that talks more about a little bit of history on Sweet Auburn, which is, as they say, very big in the Black history of Atlanta. In fact, the very first Black-owned business building was bought on Edgewood Avenue, just like I pointed out earlier. Run through, and then we're going to come up to the part that I really wanted to show you.
December 5th was a very memorable day for me. Really eager to find out whether people would stay on the bus. The first bus came by, never even like that night, the first time African Americans and Nigerians really met. Was able to people. And we all realized that we made a correct choice and we selected. Montgomery, until we get a hearing. A great deal of mountains.
I don't think the white man is not so bad by them.
Here we go. So here's some timeline. 1955 receives doctorate in theology from Boston University. 56 harassed by the police and arrested with others for conspiracy in the bus boycott. Helps to found a regional strategy group, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. SCLC was a huge thing. Meets with President Eisenhower in 58. Chooses to go to jail rather than pay the fine for a trumped-up loitering charge. 59 goes to India to study Gandhi's techniques of nonviolence. '60, arrested with 50 others in an Atlanta department store sit-in. 1961, targets Albany, Georgia for mass protests. 62, spends time in jail. 63, writes letter from Birmingham jail while in solitary confinement for organizing demonstrations. 64, named Man of the Year by Time magazine. I bet that one's worth $1 million. You have that one lying around. 65, targets Selma, Alabama for an aggressive voting rights campaign, calls for an economic boycott of the state. 1966, moves into a Chicago tenement and campaigns there for fair housing and jobs, attacked with bricks and bottles by violent Chicago whites. 67, increasingly denounces U.S. involvement in Vietnam and leads an anti-war march. 68, sharpens his focus on economic issues and leads a march through Memphis in support of striking sanitation workers. On April 3rd, delivers his last speech, I've been to the mountaintop, and is assassinated the next day. President Johnson declares a national day of mourning.
I think
This is what I wanted to show you. This is very cool. This is like the march they did. I love this display here. All right. Hey, everybody. Here I am. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that little tour. Again, it wasn't meant to be all about stats and numbers. It was just meant to kind of show you everything here, maybe inspire you to come for a trip to Atlanta, check it all out yourself, and go over some of the fun, the story. Well, not fun. No, I don't think any of it's a very serious topic. I hope I presented it in a fairly lighthearted-ish manner. But really, one, to honor Dr. King, two, I just think it's cool. I love showing you guys interesting things and doing things that might make you think or want to visit or whatever. And I'm actually gonna head out here pretty soon. So I guess I'm gonna have to come back to Atlanta to go back and do the tour. And whenever I get to do that, which will be after November 2025, I'll of course do a reel or a story or whatever I'm allowed to do from that place. And I think I'm going to go check out some of the gift shops and things in this area before I head out. Still trying to decide what I'm going to do later. Gimbel's being a little bit sassy. What else is new? And sorry. Anyways, I'm going to figure out the rest of my day. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for this tour today. If you're catching it on a replay from my YouTube channel, I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, I was so excited to be able to do this tour and just show you everything that's here to see and how cute Auburn is. And who knows, maybe one day I'll actually come down and we'll do history coffee shops and history walks from the neighborhood here in Sweet Auburn. Because it's pretty cute. So again, I'm Ceaux from Girl on a Bus Adventures. Thank you for joining me today for my Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Tour of the Sweet Auburn neighborhood in the historic district, which is a national park. I think that's wild. And thanks so much. The next tour I'm planning is in New Orleans in about 5 days from now. And that's going to be of Ghost Manor. So we're in Atlanta today. Thank you for being here in Atlanta with me. And have a magical day. Go be fabulous. And go play that Dr. Martin Luther King speech. I have a dream. Maybe listen to a little Mahalia Jackson after this. Have yourself a fabulous day. And again, best ways to help me out are to share my channel on YouTube, share my tours, and buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/girl on a bus. Have an amazing day, guys. Thank you.